My Dallas Cowboys, for example, played the Redskins.
Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas is a big Cowboys fan.
Teamwork also pays off. For further information, call the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission.
He even shot an ad in collaboration with the team he so dearly loves.
I am totally convinced that every referee in those games is a Redskins fan, but none would admit to it. I think that in something as simple as that, even though we have strong views about who should win, something as simple as that, we'd want to feel that the referees, and judges are to a large extent referees, are fair and impartial, even when we don't agree with the calls.
Well, incredible foreshadowing from September of 1991. Hey, remember this quote?
So we don't need to touch politics. We don't need to touch politicians. We need to be the respite, getting away from all of that.
That's Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. Keep that in mind. Because he then did this.
Jones saying his players must stand for the Star-Spangled Banner and will not be allowed to stay in the locker room.
And said this.
Our policy is that you stand at the anthem, toeing the line.
And then was commended for it by this dude.
President Trump praising Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones after he became the first owner to come out against part of the NFL's controversial new national anthem policy.
Jerry, Mr. Don't Touch Politics, is, well, touching politics all the time. He's actually knees deep in it, including Supreme Court Justice and walking conflict of interest, Clarence Thomas.
Dallas Cowboys or the Redskins?
I'm a lifetime, I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan for 25 years.
Thank you.
Why do I say that?
Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas has been under scrutiny for accepting private flights and luxury vacations from Texas billionaire Harlan Crow.
Because he is a willing participant.
You have an unelected billionaire basically funding a super billionaire style, friend of a billionaire lifestyle for the Thomases that they hid from everyone.
To participate.
Not only are Thomas and Crow pictured here at Crow's luxurious Adirondack resort, where this painting hangs, we also see Federalist Society co-chairman Leonard Leo, who the Washington Post reports directed tens of thousands of dollars of business to the firm of Ginny Thomas. And then there's Mark Paoletta. He's the former general counsel for the Office of Management and Budget under Donald Trump.
In conflicts of interest from the top 1% of society.
The Supreme Court's so corrupt now that the Dallas Cowboys are involved in the billionaire bribery scandal?
Well, yes. Thomas has flown in Jones's private jets, attended the team's training camp, and sat in the owner's box, in addition to getting a Super Bowl ring from the Cowboys owner. In addition, Thomas flew on a jet emblazoned with the Miami Dolphins logo. He was a guest of former Dolphins owner Wayne Huizenga, who made his fortune with Blockbuster Video. Thomas would meet with the team, make annual visits to Miami, fly in a helicopter with the team logo on it, and be taken off the Dolphins' practice facility. This is not just mundane access. This is luxurious access. In college football, Justice Thomas was on the field during games and even led the team out of the tunnel. David Sokol, pictured with Thomas at a Nebraska home game, has been a mainstay in Thomas's life. Sokol is the one-time heir apparent to Warren Buffett at Berkshire Hathaway, wrote the Times. How did this all begin? The Horatio Alger Association of Distinguished Americans, an exclusive club that appears to serve a big purpose, brokering connections, giving the group access to SCOTUS, reportedly taking money from those in the group to pass conservative legislation, and more. The entire group is a walking hypocrisy. His friendships forged through Horatio have brought him proximity to a lifestyle of unimaginable material privilege. Over the years, his Horatio friends have welcomed him at their vacation retreats, arranged VIP access to sporting events, and invited him to their lavish parties.
Clarence Thomas was profiled in the Legal Times in an article that described his career ambition this way. He says he plans to be rich, says that means more than just a few $100,000 a year. At the time, a few $100,000 a year was very, very, very rich. That kind of income would have put Clarence Thomas at that time in the top 1% of income earners in the United States. And so Clarence Thomas went in less than 10 years from wanting to be a priest to wanting to be very, very rich, which is a very good reason not to become a federal judge.
The Jerry Jones Super Bowl ring today. The Dallas Morning News quoted Ken Golden, a.k.a. the King of Collectibles, who estimated it would be worth over $100,000. USA Today's Mike Freeman would drop the hammer in his column for USA Today Sports. What we've learned is that Jones's power goes far beyond football. We know Jones had political influence, but no one knew until now it was to this degree. There's been no indication that any of Jones's business interests have appeared before the court, but Jones's actions were also about the possibility that those interests could. The real reason Jones courted Thomas is a simple one. If you can get a Supreme Court justice to favor laws that help wealthy people like Jones, and the price is a visit to a luxury suite or a ring, that's the bargain of the century. Jones has probably had tough negotiations or people he couldn't crack, but Thomas obviously wasn't one of them. Thomas seems to have a grand opening sign attached to him. Jones picked this up easily and did what Jones does, reel in the sucker. This may have been the biggest sucker Jones ever caught.
On the public record alone, no Supreme Court justice in history has ever been more financially compromised than the man